Hello everybody and welcome to today's video. Today we're gonna talk about 5 free things you can do to make your wardrobe more sustainable today. These are all things you can do at home right now and they are all for free or actually save you some money. And I thought because sustainable fashion oftentimes is so expensive and some people are held back from the idea of creating a more sustainable wardrobe because they think it has to be expensive, I wanted to share these tips with you because they are free. If you don't know, I have an extreme minimalist and very sustainable wardrobe. I was able to not buy fast fashion for the last 4 years, and also my wardrobe is pretty inexpensive because I don't need a lot of new things and buy most of them secondhand. But today we're actually just gonna talk about the things that are absolutely free that will make your wardrobe more sustainable. So let's get started with the first one. The first tip is wash your clothes less and hang dry them if possible. You really don't need to wash your clothes after each time of wearing them. Of course, underwear is another story, but for a lot of things, we really don't need to wash them all the time, and we can wear them multiple times in a row or like multiple times after a few days. You can hang them outside to air out a bit, but of course, if they have stains, if they stink, wash them. But I think a lot of people wash their clothes way more than they would need to wash them. So washing your clothes less will save you some energy, which makes it a lot more sustainable. And also it will make your clothes stay in a good condition for longer, which of course also is more sustainable. And hang drying your clothes has the same effect. If you don't use a dryer, a tumbler dryer, you use less energy and it's more gentle on your clothes, so they will be with you for a longer time and be in a good condition. But with that, I really don't want to shame anybody who needs to wash their clothes a lot, or who dries their clothes in a dryer, because I know it's just very practical. It's just something you can do that is free and that would make your closet more sustainable. The next thing is something that will save you money, and it's something that I'm going to do this year. I don't know if the video is already up, but if not, it's going to be the next video, and that is a shopping ban, or just like a no buy or low buy in general. And that means that you just work with what you have and do not buy new clothes for a certain period of time. That can be 1 month, that can be 3 months, 6 months, a whole year, and it will save you money, obviously. And also it is super sustainable because whenever we buy something, maybe except for secondhand clothes shopping, but whenever we buy things, new things, they use resources, and that is not sustainable. Even if we buy sustainable fashion, they still use resources. They still use water, electricity, cotton plants or other plants, or even plastic to make the fabrics out of, and all the shipping and transportation and manufacturing. All of these resources can be saved if we just do not buy anything. Now, of course, if things break, we need to buy new things to have clothes to wear. Of course, we also sometimes need to buy things or want to buy things, and that is totally fine. But I think a lot of us buy a lot more clothes than we actually need. And clothing consumption has gone up a whole lot in the last 10 or 20 years. And most people don't even wear their clothes more than a few times before they declutter them again. So I think not buying new clothes maybe doesn't seem like a super exciting thing to do, but it is very sustainable and it will save you money. And so it's something you can do. Also, it will help you figure out your style and find what you actually want to buy in the future. And so I think it's a helpful thing, and I can highly recommend it. Also right now, where in a lot of parts of the world it's not really possible to shop, and we don't have too much money, or a lot of people have less money than a year ago, for example, I think it's a very good, very practical thing to do, and I'm doing it as well this year. The third tip is something that is sometimes, I think, very overlooked, but that can save you so much money, and that is very sustainable, and it's fixing things that have small holes, that have lost a button or something like that. There are so many things that you can do at home without great sewing skills. You can look it up on YouTube. There are very, very easy tutorials to fix small holes in socks, in sweaters, in pants. Also, again, for sewing on a new button or things like that, there are many things that we can do that take us just a few minutes and that will make a garment good for another few years sometimes. And that's something that I really do as well. I try to always fix my things if they break. At the moment I have my linen pants where the pockets have a lot of holes in them, and I think I just have to make new pockets for them, which is a bit complicated, but I think I'll figure it out. Also, a lot of you told me how to do it in the comments, and I'm very thankful for that. So I think I'm gonna be able to do it, even though that is a bit more complicated than just like fixing a small hole. So that is what I can also encourage you to do. It's free, it actually saves you money because you don't need to buy new things, and it is super sustainable because it prolongs the lifespan of a garment, sometimes by month, sometimes by years. And yeah, it's, I think, also a beautiful thing to do, just to appreciate your clothes. Now, I totally understand not all of us are good at handcrafting and doing things like that. So you can of course also bring your things to like a shop to where they fix your clothes, where they mend things, and that usually doesn't even cost that much money. And I've done that with shoes, for example, to put new soles on, and I think I saved these shoes from the garbage and can use them for like another 2 or 3 years. So I think that's a very good thing to do. It's very sustainable, it's inexpensive or free. I'm also always proud if I'm able to fix something and see like, okay, now it's in a good condition, and again, yeah, it doesn't like lay around and make me feel guilty because I'm not using it, I'm not doing anything with it and things like that. So I'm always really feeling good when I manage to fix my things and use them for another long time. The fourth tip I have is really getting to know your clothes, getting to know your style, and maybe doing a 10 by 10 challenge, which means you take 10 items of clothing and style them for 10 days. So you only have like a very tiny wardrobe of 10 pieces for the next 10 days, but like that you can get really creative, you can figure out what you actually like, and it will really help you to not feel bored with your wardrobe. And also it really helps you to determine what you actually like, which will help you in the future when you buy new things. And if we can like really get a close look at our wardrobe and figure out what our style actually is, what the things are that we use on a regular basis, what the things are that we like wearing, then we really know what we want to buy in the future, and like that we don't buy things that we won't end up using, which is more sustainable and is also saving you money. I can also recommend you track your wardrobe, like you track your outfits every morning, you write down what you're wearing, and like that you can determine what the things are that you wear most often. Or the other way around, if you hang your clothes, you can put all the hangers the wrong way around, and each time you use something, you put it back in the right way. After a few months, if you still have pieces that hang the wrong way around, then you know you have not been wearing these and you can get rid of them. Or of course still keep them if you know that you are going to use them and that there are occasions where you actually need these pieces. So this is really something you can do for free today if you have a bit of time, and just you can also write it down, you can watch videos on styling, you can try out new things and just really get to know your clothes better, get to know your style better, get to know your wardrobe better, get to know your life better, to actually determine what kind of clothes you want, what kind of clothes you need, what you actually wear on a regular basis, to then know, yeah, what to buy in the future or what to really avoid, because you maybe buy it over and over again and realize over and over again that you're actually not wearing it. And then the fifth thing is actually decluttering. And maybe it sounds a bit strange that decluttering would make your wardrobe more sustainable. But what I mean by that is, if you have 100 pieces of clothing, which I think is a bit below average, but you actually only wear 30 pieces or maybe 40 pieces, which I think is pretty normal. Most of us wear their favorite things over and over again, and we have like a large portion of our wardrobe that we just really don't wear because we don't like it, it's not that practical, out of different reasons. If you have these 100 pieces, but you only use, say, let's say 40, then these 60 pieces of clothing are not used. These are resources that could be used, but they're just laying or hanging in your wardrobe and aren't being used. So if you're able to declutter them, you will free up these resources for other people to use them. You can sell them, you can donate them. Even if I think if you donate them, you should be a bit careful, because sometimes if you donate items to a certain place, it's not actually a sustainable or ethical thing to do because they're not actually benefiting people, or they're just thrown away there. And so I think we have to be a bit careful with donating. But you can always sell them, you can always bring them to your favorite secondhand store where you know that they will like be resold. You can give them away for free to other people or on online marketplaces. And so you can give your clothes another life. You can, instead of them laying around in your closet, you can make it possible for somebody else to use them, and then they don't have to buy other new clothes. So that is actually a very sustainable thing to do. Also, some clothes will not last for a long time even if they are not used. Some clothes have certain materials in them, or if there's some kind of light coming into your wardrobe, they will bleach out, and just there are like problems happening to your clothes sometimes even if you don't wear them. So if they're hanging around for 10 years and after 10 years you just have to throw them away because they're not in a good condition anymore, but nobody has even used them in these 10 years, that's really sad. And so freeing up these resources, giving them a possibility to be used by somebody else, is really the first benefit. But the second benefit goes hand in hand with the fourth point I mentioned, which is getting to know your style better. If you declutter, you really also get very honest with yourself and find out what the things are that you actually like wearing. And then you get a new picture of how much you actually need, and again, what the things are that you maybe do need to buy, but what the things are that you have plenty of, so you actually really don't need to buy a new black shirt if you already have 10 black shirts. And so I think decluttering, even though it doesn't sound like a sustainable practice at the moment, maybe it really can be. And so these 5 things, most of them can even make you some money. All of them are free, and all of them are possible to do at home. Now I know they are maybe not super exciting because it's always like just dealing with the clothes you have, but the most sustainable thing to do with your wardrobe is using what you have. And all of these things highly suggest you just use what you have, and you get really, really honest with yourself and get clear about what the things are that you actually like wearing and use all the time. So in the future, when you buy new things, you can make more sustainable choices. Then, of course, if you buy new things, buy them secondhand, which is the most sustainable thing to do. Also buy them at sustainable brands, which I know is a lot more expensive, but if we can like cut down our shopping by 80%, then maybe it's worth it, because also the items are a lot of times are a lot higher quality and are just beautiful pieces. You support a good brand with a like good future in mind, and you also contribute to a more just world where everybody gets living wage for their work. And so I think it's a good thing to do. I never want to shame anybody for buying fast fashion out of different reasons: availability, money, the right sizes or cuts or things you need. And so yeah, these are my tips that everybody can do in order to make your wardrobe a bit more sustainable. So if you want to see more videos about building like a minimalist, sustainable wardrobe, I'll link you my playlist up here where I talk about how I build my wardrobe, and yeah, things you can use and resources to make your wardrobe more minimalist and more sustainable. And also you can subscribe to my channel if you want. I make a lot of videos about my extreme minimalist sustainable wardrobe and other topics with minimalism and sustainability. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, which helps a lot with the algorithm. And if you want to see more videos, I link you a video and a playlist right here. And I also hope to see you next time. Bye!